From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, December 16th. It's going to be cold and breezy to end the work week. Going to struggle to get into the mid-30s today. Winds are going to be 25 to 30 miles per hour at times, so it's going to feel even chillier. Some scattered light snow showers and flurries could be possible during the day. Dearborn County now, where investigators there are combing through debris of a massive fire at a farming co-op. The fire started just after 4:30 yesterday afternoon as Laurie Valley AG Co-op closed. Emergency workers said the staff there made it out just in time. More than 10 fire departments worked for more than 6 hours to put the fire out. One man who lives near the co-op says the loss is devastating as local farmers go there to get animal feed. Officials say no one was hurt. The cause of the fire is under investigation. This is in an area just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. A judge says the Purdue University student accused of stabbing his roommate to death is incompetent to stand trial. A Tippecanoe County Circuit judge announced the ruling on G. Min Shaw yesterday after reading a report from a psychologist hired by Shaw's lawyers. The judge also appointed 2 doctors until he is found competent to assist in his defense. Prosecutors say he stabbed his roommate in their dorm room in early October, then called police to report it. Indiana University police are searching for 3 armed suspects wanted for intimidation. The IU Emergency Management first tweeted about it just before 7:30 last night. It reported an armed person on Eagleson just south of 17th Street. The account then tweeted that 3 suspects drove north in a gray Ford Fusion. Police haven't said exactly what the suspects did, nor have they given a description of them. IPS is delaying the vote on the second of 2 referendums in its school restructuring plan. School leaders say the specifics of the operating referendum are still under consideration. The decision means the new board members selected in November will vote on it next year. The board approved the first referendum in the plan last week. The board did approve its language justice policy. The plan creates a task force that will look into ways to expand the district's language service options. The goal is to assure English language learners are not left behind. According to IPS, the district has seen a 20% increase in English learners over the last 5 years. The task force will include teachers, students, families, and community partners. Board Commissioner Evan Hawkins says this isn't a policy that will be filed away in a folder. IPS leaders have said that they do plan to establish a task force next semester. Today, city operations across Marion County will start back up again after a network outage suspended service. It affected the Marion County Circuit and Superior Courts, the City County Building, and the Criminal Justice Campus. The mayor's office says a cut fiber cable is to blame. Everything was back in operation just before 3 o'clock this morning. And we're hearing from people in Batesville as one of the town's century-old cornerstones gets a new owner. We did break the news of the Batesville Casket Company sale yesterday on Daybreak. Hillenbrand is selling it to Long Range Capital for $761.5 million. Since opening its doors more than 100 years ago, the company's become a leading provider of death care products and services. It employs more than 3,000 people. Community members say that the company helps put the town on the map. It helps it grow. Long Range says it's looking forward to partnering with the Batesville management team to support the business for years to come. A new report shows that people are having a harder time buying homes in Marion County. Part of the problem, investors buying up properties in lower and moderate income neighborhoods. The report from the Fair Housing Center of Indiana shows outside investors cashing in and minority families missing out. The latest report centers around the impact investors have on communities by looking at foreclosures and tax sale data. About 15% of homes in Indianapolis are investor owned. That's in comparison to the national rate of 3%. Fair housing representatives say it's causing a crisis. The data shows more minorities are instead moving to the south side of the city, where the change is happening at a much slower rate. Purdue's Board of Trustees is accepting the apology of the head of Purdue Northwest after he made an offensive remark during a commencement ceremony over the weekend. As we first reported yesterday on Daybreak, Chancellor Thomas Kean sparked outrage after mockingly impersonating an Asian language on stage Saturday. Kean says he didn't mean to be hurtful, calling it a mistake. He added that the comment was an unplanned, off-the-cuff response to a speaker before him. And this morning, several journalists who cover Twitter and its new owner Elon Musk are waking up to find their accounts suspended. The company hasn't explained the decision, but owner Elon Musk posted on Twitter last night accusing journalists of sharing private information about his location. He described them as assassination coordinates, but didn't provide any evidence for the claim. The new suspicions follow Musk's decision Wednesday to permanently ban an account that tracked his private jet. A new report finds millions are struggling to pay their utilities. The National Energy Assistance Directors Association says more than 20 million American families are behind. This comes as the U.S. is seeing a rise in heating costs. The U.S. Energy Information Administration projects the cost of heating a home with natural gas will rise 28% for the winter, October through March. Heating oil is expected to be up 27% over last winter. Electric heating costs will go up 10%. The Biden administration announced last month it will distribute $4.5 billion to help families through low-income home energy assistance programs. Advocates say more funds are needed to provide states with sufficient flexibility to help families address higher prices. A system of deadly tornadoes swept across the southeast where it did more than just damaged homes. It took the lives of at least 3 people. Tornadoes tore across the region and residents are just beginning to assess the damage. While the cleanup begins in some parts, storms are trailing east, potentially bringing ice and snow to areas in the northeast. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center said at least 49 tornadoes have been reported across Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, and Florida over the past 2 days. The system is now moving east, potentially heading to the mid-Atlantic and New England areas with heavy snow and ice. A new report shows demand to enter the U.S. is at an all-time high, and immigration courts are flooded with cases. Analysis by Syracuse University found more than 2 million cases of immigration are pending. The largest backlog is in Miami-Dade County, Florida, with more than 100,000 pending cases. A large portion of those are for people seeking asylum. The wait time for a hearing on those claims is now more than 4 years. According to the analysis, immigration courts have increased the pace of hearings, but it still can't keep up with the influx of the new case filings. Big changes are in store for the NCAA next year. Indianapolis-based organization announced yesterday it selected Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker as its next president. Baker will succeed Mark Emmert, who's been in the job for the past 12 years. Emmert announced plans to step down earlier this year after years of court losses and attacks from politicians. Now Baker will be charged with leading the organization through a sweeping reform. He's set to take over next March after he wraps up his second term as governor. Wisconsin's Grace Stanke is a nuclear engineering student at the University of Wisconsin and the next Miss America. She played the violin during the talent portion. Stanke also took home a $50,000 scholarship. She says she's considering using the money to go to grad school. She now takes over for Miss America 2022, Emma Broyles. As for Miss Indiana, who won the talent portion, Eliza Halal did make it to the top 10. Have a great weekend, everybody. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.